Welcome to School Zone, the show all about your local school districts here in the White Mountains. I'm your host, John Larsen. I'd like to share with you, I'm trying to start a new thing where we share some of the accomplishments of our kids here in the district, and a couple of really great things happened recently. Our stunt team took the national championship, which is phenomenal, just great, and our high school robotics team won the state championship while qualifying for the World Championships. And they're one of only 200 teams that are invited to the World Championships. So we've obviously got some really great things going on in our district, and our kids are just great representatives, and we're grateful for them, and we're excited for them, and look forward to seeing how they continue to do. So today we have two people with us today. We have the pleasure of having Stephanie Ray, the Executive Director of Arizona at Work, and also we have Shad Housley, our Show Low Unified School District Superintendent. Thank you both for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate you taking time to be with us, and I'm excited to learn some things from you, and we're going to talk about the Arizona at Work, and then we're going to talk about a activity, for lack of better words, that we're going to have in July. So Stephanie, we'll start with you. If you'll introduce yourself, I'd appreciate it. And then Shad, you can introduce yourself, and then we'll visit with you for a bit.
Sure. So I'm Stephanie Ray. I am the Executive Director of Arizona at Work. I grew up in Show Low, graduated from Show Low High School. We won't say what year. And I have three children, and my youngest is going to be a senior next year at Show Low High. So left the mountain for a while and went off, and I've got a bachelor's degree in public administration and a master's degree in technical writing and English master's degree. So now here I am back and trying to help our community.
Where did you go to school?
Oh, NAU.
You went to NAU for both degrees?
For both degrees, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Good. Shad.
It's good to be here again.
Again, we should all know you.
Again, over and over. Yeah, it's good to be here. I'm Shad Housley. I'm the Superintendent of Schools in Show Low. This is I've been in the district now for 5 years, just completing 5 years, and just excited to be here. We've got some great things to share, and glad you have Stephanie on with us to share some of the things that her department will bring in enhancing what we do here at the school district.
Great. We're going to eventually get to that, how we're connected and how we're hopefully helping one another. So Stephanie, what is Arizona at Work and the Northeastern Arizona Community Resource Network?
Okay, so Arizona at Work is the statewide workforce development system, and that system is broken down into workforce development areas. So we are charged here in Northeastern Arizona of having oversight of Navajo, Apache, and Gila counties, all the funding that comes in through the Department of Labor for workforce programming. And what that basically means is we are tasked with making sure that the job seekers in the region have the skills that they need to be able to meet the demand of the employers in the region. So that's what I do for my day job. And then we have the Northeastern Arizona Community Resource Network that is our nonprofit arm.
Okay. So how are you partnering with the community organizations, various? I mean, I know you're working with a lot of different ones. How do you partner with them to increase resources available to parents and children?
So one of the things that we noticed with the pandemic, and even just prior to the pandemic in our rural area, there's such a lack of knowledge of the resources that are available, both by those service providers who are providing one resource or another, not having the knowledge of what else is going on in the region, but also those parents and children, those families that need the resources. It's difficult to just walk the roadmap, if you will, of how to get the resources that they need. And so we developed the nonprofit, NACRN is the acronym, to be able to bring those organizations all together under one affiliate network. We've developed a technology platform that they can all share information. So as people are needing, maybe they walk in and they say, I need a job at an Arizona Network Job Center, but right now they also need rental assistance. We can connect them directly through that technology platform to the entities that can provide that immediate eviction prevention relief. Great. And so we're doing that, and then our big project is that we're developing an empowerment center in Show Low. We've taken the We're leasing what used to be the elementary school when I was in Show Low Elementary, but it most recently was the court building there across from Nicholas Homestead. We are rehabbing that entire building, and we intend to have a family resource side and an economic resource side where we can really deal with the entire family. Everything from, we will have childcare and a preschool in the building, all the way up to helping the parents find jobs, increase their skill sets, get training, and that kind of thing.
Okay. Can you do me a favor? Run a scenario by me, an everyday scenario of a mom or a dad, a family needing your resources,
Sure.
needing what you do. Run through that so that maybe a couple of them that
Sure, I'll
will help.
go a couple
folks.
different ways. Okay, so we might have a family who they're living paycheck to paycheck, maybe both are working at minimum wage jobs, and they don't necessarily know anything about Arizona at Work. We often we find that we're the best kept secret is one of the things that we say, and one of the things that I'm really working to do is to make sure that we are no longer a secret. So we have these resources available, but the idea behind the Empowerment Center in particular is, so say that those parents coming in, they're just coming in over here because we have after school programming, we plan to have backpack drives, we plan to have STEM programming, and like I said, the child care and preschool. So maybe they're coming in to connect to one of those opportunities, and then we can also tell them about the opportunities that are, Arizona at Work can pay for training for someone that wants to get into a career pathway. I came up through the ranks, if you will, and I started as kind of a career advisor for Arizona at Work. And I remember sitting in front of multiple people that would say to me, I can't afford to go to college. And they had no idea that between Pell Grants and different resources that are available, they could actually get paid to go to school. And so I would say, you can't afford not to go to college. Let me show you why. And so we're hoping that we can gather in those parents maybe it's through the needs that their children have first, and then get them to understand. On the flip side of that, maybe we have someone come in that says, I need a job. And as we work with them through this, the technology platform has a very intuitive intake process where we'll ask a ton of questions. And so one of the other scenarios I use all the time is that I would have people come in and they say, I need a job. I hear if you get me a commercial driver's license, that will help everything. That's going to, save me from all of the problems of my life because I can go and make a lot of money. And we would sit down and walk through that, and as I would talk to them, I would find out, well, they think that this is the solution to their problem, but maybe they're facing eviction and they need rental assistance, their utilities are getting ready to turn off. And so no matter what we do on a training side, sending them to school today is not going to pay for the bills that were due yesterday. And so by connecting them with all of the resources in the Empowerment Center, and then we hope also connecting their children into programming on the family side, we're hoping then that changes the course of that entire family's direction. So people come in with multiple needs and they think they know what they need or what they want, but really it takes a whole village, if you will, to help that family.
Great. So let's bring this to Show Low.
Okay.
Schools.
Yes.
How are you partnering with Show Low Schools? What are you doing for us? What are we doing for you?
So Mr. Housley has been excellent and very open-minded in some of the ideas. And I first approached him, it's been a while, and we were talking about the Empowerment Center probably a year and a half or 2 years ago. And some of the things that we wanted to do in there, and recognizing that the one thing we do not want to do in the Empowerment Center, we do not want our organizations to start providing programming that is already available with other entities. And so we talked about things like after school programming, and we talked about the need for childcare, and we talked about the preschool, the cubbyhole program that is already at the high school, and ways that might be able to be expanded into this new space. And so we've talked about mental health workshops and the parent side, that he's got resources. We've got a mental health team that works for Show Low Schools that might be able to provide some resources to parents who need some assistance with children with emotional disabilities, or even maybe they themselves are not sure, how to deal with their own mental health issues, or how to parent children that aren't just the typical child. So we talked about that. We talked about you mentioned the robotics club. We talked about robotics in the schools all the way down into the middle school that they would all love to expand, and there's not space. And so we've talked about how do we bring that over into the Empowerment Center? How do we expand on the after school programming that's there? Really excited about the child care and preschool aspect of that partnership. There's a huge gap in the childcare that's available. There's a huge need for more children to be prepared to go into kindergarten, and how do we, if we're really looking at helping the whole family, how do we do that? Well, we need the help the school. You know, they need to come in. They've got the expertise. They have the teachers that are able to not only provide the programming in our school, but also, or in our empowerment center, but also teach the high school kids that are interested in early childhood development in those professions, bring them in. We've talked about ways to bring these high school students in to do internships and that kind of thing, to really, my goal is, we always say that our biggest export is our kids. And so I grew up here, I left, I came back. I would love to see our kids not leave and see opportunities. And so we've really worked together. We also have we've partnered on a program, White Mountain Works, that is through the CTE program. And so we've been able to, the school was very successful in getting a bunch of students internships this year, but we're hoping to expand that through our Arizona at Work programming. So really a lot of things that we've kind of come together on and found some alignment.
Good. Mr. Housley, add to that.
Stephanie's been a wonderful resource, a breath of fresh air to be able to come in and start to share, and it's talk about open-mindedness. It's a chance to explore opportunities and what can we do. Educating isn't just about the kid. It's about, as you said, the family and mom and dad and child and everyone together. And if that unit can be successful, we can successfully educate them. And so all the things that she's brought to the table to help us explore, it really gets you excited thinking. So we were actually brainstorming. One thing that's coming up here shortly, we were brainstorming about some ideas, and I said, let me tell you a story. I was in Walmart one day right before the start of one of the school years, and I noticed there was a mom. She appeared to be single. She had a number of kids that she was trying to buy school supplies for, and she was filling up her cart, and I just ached for her a little bit because I knew what it cost me to put that stuff in my cart, and I only had 2 kids, and she had more. And I knew the kind of burden that would put on my household, and I was thinking about the burden that it put on her household. And so we were brainstorming that idea of was there a possible solution to that problem, and we're really excited about the partnership that's coming up in July that will be for the students and family of the Shola Unified School District, to provide a community resource fair for them, a back-to-school resource fair that will help meet those needs in a lot of different aspects. And so that's of all the things that we've partnered on, that's one that gets me really excited. The preschool gets me really excited, and just the White Mountain Works, the potential, the success initially in this first year, even in a COVID year, and then looking to what it could provide in years to come. I'm just really excited. I think it meets both of the visions and both of the hopes for our programs.
So the collaboration on work, where some of our students have been able to get internships, some of them paid, some of them not, I understand, but like you said, even with some of the restrictions that we've had, it's been really successful, and only hoping, I'm certain it's just going to be more successful as things loosen up and we get back to normal. If there's going to, I don't know if we ever are going to go back to the normal we knew, but when we go back to normal, the possibilities there are just out of the world, crazy. And I personally am really, really grateful for the powers that have made that happen, including Dr. Taylor. So I'm really grateful for that. So tell me more about the fair. When is it? If there's any more that you can tell us about it?
So I'll start with this. Ian, I was doing some research one time about Russia, and there was a story about their back to school. The nation went to school on the same day. That was their opening, and they came with presents. It was a big celebration, this opening day of school. And I started to think about, we have this problem where there's a lot of resources needed for school-age kids, and an excitement around the start of school. How can we create both in one place? And so I shared that with Stephanie. Our mind started to turn, and we thought, a back-to-school resource fair. Let's create an environment that will create excitement around the start of school, that will provide resources to kids and families, and empower them with some excitement around that start of the school year, and a chance to get, but a chance to give back. And so all those components are involved in our back to school fair, and you know, we can share some intimate pieces of each part of those, but we have a committee that's been working on it, and a lot of things are happening right now we're excited about.
So when we say resources, that, you know, it's kind of a word that encompasses a lot of things. Give me some idea of resources that are going to be available to our people.
So one thing that we're working on right now, and certainly want to make sure that everyone knows that if you have an interest in participating in this, our doors are open. We're looking for people to volunteer services and opportunities to help these families out. But imagine being able to go into an environment at a back to school resource fair, and every kid needs a fresh haircut, right? For the start of school. Every kid would like to get a dental exam. Every kid would like to have their eyes looked at, right? These are things. Hearing. Every kid would like to be able to have a nice new notebook, or some pens and crayons and things that they might need in the classroom.
Pencils, backpack possibly.
Backpack. Those are things that a kid gets excited about when it's start to school. And unfortunately, not all families are able to do all of those things. And so for supporting the family and supporting the child and getting excited about going back to school, let's take that thing that weighs us down as a family, let's make it a resource for them so they can come and get those things taken care of and feel good about the first day of school.
Okay. I know, I'm assuming you've thought of this, but one thing that came to my mind is a lot of times it's a big deal when school starts that you have a new pair of pants and don't have holes. I know it was for me, because I wore holes in the knees of my pants when I was a kid. Is that something you've thought about?
Yeah, we've actually looked at clothes donations, finding things that kids can choose from. Not even just our school clothes, but we find that if kids will participate in their school experience, whether it's clubs or athletics or other activities, that they feel more a part of what's happening, and they feel more empowered to be successful. And so we're even looking at donations of things that could be expensive, like sports equipment and lightly used cleats. I want to go out for football, but a pair of cleats cost me $100. Maybe I can't participate. So if we can have some of those resources available for kids to select and to be able to feel like they can participate and not have obstacles, that's what we're looking for.
So if I had, this just came to my mind, if I had a pair of size 8 girls tennis shoes, that would be something that you would want to have.
Absolutely.
And I have one. So I want to make sure that you know that I'm going to gift those to you, so that those are made available for July. When is it?
July 17th.
July 17th. So where are we going? Where's it held?
So right now the venue will be the high school gymnasium, and the outer venues around it. The football stadium will probably be involved in that, the parking lot. We're looking at quite a large event, so we're looking for a lot of space, but the high school gym will be there. Families can come in, I believe, it's 11 to
10 or 11 to 4.
10 to 4.
Yeah.
10 to 4?
10 to 4.
Have lunch. I'm going to serve hot dogs, something.
Yeah, we're going to serve hot dogs. We're going to have a community service project, a day to give back. That's why I say you can go and get some stuff, but you can also go and give back. And a little day of service will be involved with that. We've got tons of volunteers. Stephanie and her organization's volunteering. We have Sue Hilgard is part of the committee. She's with Arizona at Work and part of the health department. And so there's some things that we're we're trying to organize and put together, and everyone's kind of got these things all moving.
Great. If somebody wants to find out information about this, where do they need to go?
There's a couple places they can look. First off, you can find information as we start to put it out on our website. There will be other things that will come out.
You're talking the district website?
Yeah, the district website. Okay. They can always call the district office, and Brandy Gray will help direct them. We have different people that are over different parts of the resource fair, and she'll direct them their way, so that if they're a service that helps out families, specifically maybe adult families, the adult portions of the families, where they might push it, she'll direct them to Stephanie and Sue. And if they're looking at things that have to do with younger, then they'll direct them to Jamie. And but it'll be Jamie Ramsey, who's in our federal programs department, and so she'll direct them the way to connect them with how they can participate.
Okay. So day of the fair, what do I expect? Come into the gym, and would you be directed to your particular need, or is it kind of hang a right and hit all the booths? And
So we do plan, and actually I think this is what Mr. Marchant is over, but the thought that he had is, and that we talked about at our last committee meeting, is giving each family a map based on what things they want or need that day, so that they have a map and they know and can kind of be directed. We've even talked about student volunteers kind of helping navigate that process, so that everybody walking in feels like they have a guided experience, at least initially, so they know where to go, so that everyone's not just feeling lost. We want people to come in and feel like we're empowering them, not that we're just giving them one more thing they have to try and figure out on their own.
Okay, great. Question, have we included the city in this, partnershiping with the city in this?
Right now the city isn't involved in the committee planning piece. We've been in a lot of committee meetings and trying to plan the structure of it. Certainly there's opportunities for the city to be involved, and we'll look for that partnership as we get things flushed out a little bit.
Great, good deal. So if a business or an individual wanted to help provide resources, be a part of the program, who do they get in touch with? Where are they going to go?
So they want to call Brandy in the Sholo School District office, and she'll help to connect them with the person who is leading the charge in the area that they're interested in.
Okay, so same thing, good. What have I missed? Have I left anything on the table that we need to talk about?
I just think it's a great opportunity for children and families who are enrolled in the Sholo Unified School District to come and to celebrate the start of the year. The intention, I believe, of this, as I listen to the committee members share their passion for this, is to ease the burden, to bring resources to one area, to provide an opportunity so that these families that might be burdened by that first day of school to be able to walk in August 4th and to not have that weight on their shoulders, to feel like, I'm excited to start. I didn't have to sacrifice 2 weeks worth of pay to just send them to school, so that they had a backpack and supplies and new clothes, at least one pair of new jeans, right? They won't have to feel the burden of that, and we hope that it's something they can feel good about, and from the child to the parents to the union of the family. So that's what we're hopeful.
And if I can just piggyback on that and just say, I love the timing of it, in that, we had this really rough year of COVID, and I think at the beginning of last year, just speaking as, a parent in the district, and not that it was unique to Sholo, right? But there was so much uncertainty about going back to school, and the how and the why and the wherefore. And I love that we're able to just regroup at this time and bring this resource to the parents, to the families, that there's no uncertainty this time. There's excitement. There's, there's knowledge around going back to school this year.
Great. So I love the fact that as a district, we're trying to be a greater part of the community and trying to be problem solvers and helping to ease burdens on families. I love that, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate the fact that there are organizations that we can partner with who are much more knowledgeable than us, that we can bring both of our experiences and knowledge together and be successful. So I really appreciate that. I appreciate you taking time to come and see us.
Of course, thank you for
so
having
much.
me.
Shad, again, thanks for coming to see us.
Great to be here.
Appreciate all you do, both of you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us here on the School Zone, and we'll see you again soon.